I'm Mike.
And I'm Matt.
And this is The Coin Show. On episode 159 of the Coin Show podcast, Matt and I are going to talk about the dueling coolest things that came across our desks this week. And I'm going to have an ambush segment on Matt, and of course. And we're also going to just talk about general things in the world of coins. But first, as always, the news.
Oops.
The news is brought to us by our fabulous patrons, all of our friends that subscribe at www.patreon.com/thecoinshow. For those that do it at a $5 level or more per month, you get an additional 2 bonus super secret shows that me and Matt record on the off weeks. So do that. Other than that,
yeah,
then we have who really runs this show. And let's see. This episode of the Coin Show podcast and the news is brought to you by Zero. If it's not positive and it's not negative, it's got to be something. And that something is the nothing that we call zero.
I like that one. I like that one a lot, actually.
So the world we live in, Matt, continues to march on despite the global pandemic, but not without an effect on daily life. It looks like things may be on lockdown for a bit longer.
That's right.
And with that said, look for more and more businesses that we take for granted to be unable to function, and shelter in place continues. Now, that said, the U.S. Mint has not set dates on its product schedule.
You don't say.
Yeah. So typically, mostly announced by this time each year, the Mint simply has to wait and see, when many of the support businesses will return before promising delivery of new product. I'd imagine the production of the actual coins is taking place, but the packaging, the certificates, the capsules, as well as the fulfillment centers themselves.
Yeah, I completely understand. I don't see why they would be able to produce or deliver products right now.
Yeah, and with the large degree of uncertainty that's going on, you can't make any plans. You just can't.
For sure, yeah. I completely understand.
That's the world 2.0 right now. That's what we're working on.
Yeah.
So the American Numismatic Association has canceled the 2020 summer seminar.
Again, not really something that's surprising considering what's going on.
No, citing an inavailability of the Colorado College facilities that are used every year.
Right. Again, that's kind of like the coin shows that we were dealing with. It's one of those things that their insurance will cover it if it's canceled for some other reason besides them just calling it off. So.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And Colorado College, who provides a lot of the facilities for the people at summer seminar, has opted out. They're closing off their dorms and stuff for the summer.
Right.
So that's pretty much going to be that. And Kim Kick, the ANA executive director, announced the cancellation, adding that the 2020 scholarships that were awarded will be honored at the 2021 summer seminar.
Well, that's cool. At least there's that.
The people who won scholarships will still be able to cash in on that knowledge, at a more appropriate time.
Yeah, that's at least there's that. That's good for them.
Yes. Yeah, so that's our silver lining to our golden shower.
Wait. Okay, wait. I can't let that one go without just commenting on that.
Yeah.
Really?
In the midst of all this uncertainty, gold is doing exactly what you'd expect. It's shooting up to near record highs.
It's ridiculous, and silver's just sitting there doing nothing.
And that's kind of the confusing thing to me is that
I
silver
don't know
sits
why.
relatively idle under $16. And I have in my notes right here. Help me understand this, Matt.
Well, silver's a very industrial metal. It's used in a lot of stuff, whereas gold's more of a investment grade material. You know, a lot of people just
So
go to
gold is
gold.
almost exclusively a store of wealth, whereas silver will wax and wane with the industrial use.
Yeah, I mean, if if the economy was going at full bore right now, silver would be up there too. So I expect it to
Because
move
it
that
was
direction.
it was really confusing to me when the pandemic really hit and when everybody started shutting everything down. You saw the price of gold spike, and you saw the price. Well, actually, you saw the price of metal drop,
Right, everything
which
dropped.
really just surprised me. No end.
Well, and
And
also,
gold has not only recovered all of it, but has surpassed it.
well, I mean, you sit and watch the stock markets just get murdered for what, like 2 weeks straight every day. $500 to $1,500 drop. So that was
Well,
You
the
know,
economy
at first-
is just
at first-
getting pummeled right now.
right. At first, they had to sell these things to cover some losses, or to cover short positions,
Mhm.
and then they're now I think heading back into gold. So that's why
No,
gold's
it's-
moving. And silver's not, because nobody's using silver on the industrial level right now, and it's kind of just flying under the radar as an investment at the moment. They would rather have gold.
Yeah. And both you and I are in states that are on lockdown currently, and we have shelter in place orders from our governors. And yet, I had to field a voicemail today. Somebody asking, if the shop was open, if they could buy some silver.
Yeah. Oh, well, we have been allowed in Indiana to go back to work as long as we don't allow customers in the office. So we can do mail order, which means we can do our eBay stuff, but we are not allowed
Which
to
is
have.
that's a large chunk for you.
I mean, it's definitely a decent
staple.
amount, and it's by no means keeping us afloat at this point.
No.
It's better than sitting at home doing nothing.
No,
that makes any
absolutely. I
sense.
mean, that's exactly where I'm at with the shop I work in. We're not allowed to do business. Basically, we can't be down in the shop. We can't let people in. So, my boss just keeps on giving me a bunch of stuff. Saying, here, research this, go sell it.
Yep. Yeah, I mean,
So,
and that's kind of been where we've been too, man. I mean, it's just
yeah.
it's just one of those things. I mean, I've got employees that are sitting at home getting paid because we kept all of our full time people. We kept paying them, and
Well,
so
you're a good guy.
well, I mean, like I said, that's not nothing here or there, but we just at first it was like take some stuff home and work on it. And now it's like okay, well, this is getting old. Let's do what we're allowed to do in the office and just call it a day. So
Yeah. I mean, that's really all I'm doing is I'm just sitting here trying to work things and trying to sell things. I've been introduced to some new Facebook groups.
yeah.
Some of which will be mentioned later in this newscast.
Oh boy.
So, in the spirit of continuing on, although the Central States show was canceled, and thus the Matt and Mike meet and greet was also canceled,
That was more important
the
to me.
auctions are still being held at Heritage Auctions Dallas headquarters on April 23rd, 24th, and 26th.
Yeah. Well, I
So,
mean, the stack sale that they did that was supposed to be in Baltimore still ended up doing really well. So
It did. As a matter of fact, I mean, think about it. It's the only game in town.
right. I mean, people that shop for that kind of material, they don't have anything else to do, and eBay sure doesn't offer that much of it. So
No, and this Central States auction is no exception to the large, show rule. An 1858 Eagle, one of only 4 to 6 minted, is the only specimen known outside of museum collections,
nice.
is for sale and expected to bring a big price. The coin is graded Proof 64 Ultra Cam by NGC.
I know where that's
It
going
was
to go.
also stickered by CAC. A 33 Eagle graded MS65 by NGC. 312,500 of these were minted, but most were melted. So although most are uncirculated coins, gem coins are really, really, truly scarce for 33 Eagles.
Right.
An 1870cc Double Eagle graded at VF30.
Tough coin.
70cc Double Eagle's the rarest CC Gold coin.
Yep.
Under 3,800 pieces minted. The known surviving examples of this coin are all heavily abraded and worn.
Yep, that's right. They all circulated.
There is an 1863 $3 gold piece in MS68.
Wow. That's a
So
pretty
not only
coin.
rare
Look
is
at
the
that thing.
mintage is a mere 5,000 pieces, but then to have survived for 155 plus years in MS68.
Yeah, that's insane. Look at that thing.
Absolutely amazing. And what I believe to be the highlight of this auction is an 1811 half cent, graded MS66 red brown by PCGS and stickered by CAC. So this coin is the only half cent certified as red brown in existence.
No, it can't be. Maybe that style.
That's what the article says.
Maybe
Only
the only. Let's see here. Let's see what they say. I was gonna say because I've owned half cents in red brown, so
Well,
it's the only 1811
related
half
article
cent.
by CoinWeek.com.
It's the only 1811 half cent in red brown. Okay, that makes a little more sense. You said
I'm
the
sorry?
only half cent in red brown.
And where did I miss? What did I miss?
It's the only 1811 half cent in red brown.
I'm sorry. Okay, so it is the only 1811 half cent certified as red brown in existence.
And it's
So
questionable.
the
Best of red
amazing
brown.
thing about it is the CoinWeek article says that this coin is graded MS65 by EAC standards.
Wow. Okay, so
That's
that's
astounding.
yeah,
because-
they're rough.
Oh, I mean, I've seen them take coins that are solid AU coins and say they're VF.
Right.
That's EAC. And look, you have to respect them for being the purists that they are.
Yep.
A little fanatical, but absolute purists.
Fanatical. I'm not sure that's the word I would use, but
Well, I don't know. I mean, I didn't mean anything.
they're pretty
mean
they're pretty hardcore. Let's go with that.
Well, okay, they're dyed in the wool. They believe what they believe, and they are very strict about it.
Yes. Okay. We can agree there. Sure thing.
Okay. Sorry, didn't mean to offend anyone.
No, yeah, I just like picking on you, really.
Yeah. Other great coins will be sold at this auction, but this is just a highlight reel of some of the stuff. So, best yet, the auction takes place in 10 days.
Yep.
So you still have a chance to own one of these great rarities. If you do by chance purchase one, please let me and Matt know. We'd like to interview you.
Why not?
Circulating W Mint quarters will be produced again this year. This year's
Maybe.
coins will carry a privy mark celebrating the 75th anniversary of the end of World War II.
Yeah, I saw those. I've seen a picture of some of these. They're pretty cool looking.
They are actually really cool looking. So, I wasn't really big on the whole idea of the privy mark thing, but these will be the first U.S. coins to use a privy mark.
I was
for
just-
circulating coins.
I was just going to say, I think these are the first U.S. coins that have ever had a privy on them. So,
10 million quarters are scheduled to be produced at the West Point Mint this year. The privy mark depicts the outline of the Rainbow Pool at West Potomac Park in Washington, D.C. That is now part of the World War II memorial. So that's why the privy mark looks the way it does.
cool. I was wondering why it had that shape around it. Now it makes sense.
Yes, that's the shape of the pool at Rainbow Pool in West Potomac Park. 75 years since the victory over the Axis powers, World War II. Designs for the Barbara Bush First Spouse Gold Coin and the 2021 Innovation Dollar designs have been recommended by the CCAC.
Wow. What the
The
heck?
Bush designs fell in line with the Bush family's preference and features the former First Lady facing forward.
That's weird. I mean, I okay. Got it.
Well, I mean, here's the thing: is you can tell nothing from that picture.
No, that's like a Photoshop. It's like
Yeah, it's a Photoshop, and it's not going to look like that.
not at all. If it looks like
It's going
that,
to be facing forward with two eyes at you. It's just creepy.
that one is creepy. I don't know. Maybe the coin won't be, but that one is creeping me out. Look at this thing.
Jefferson is creepy on the nickel. Look at it's just the two eyes thing. I don't know.
Oh boy,
They've got to be looking obliquely. You can't look straight at you.
they're staring at my
It's just
soul.
weird. Yeah. who are you staring at? And a person reading a book is centered on the reverse. The 2021 Innovation Dollar coins will be issued for the states of New Hampshire, Virginia, New York, and North Carolina. So New Hampshire's coin will honor Ralph Baer, inventor of the home video game system.
That's kind of cool. I mean, as a video game nerd, I think it's cool, but...
And that's the thing. So I expected your generation to get a bigger kick out of it than mine. I like the fact that they refer to him and they are using the image of Player One.
Yeah, that's cool.
He is Player One.
He is Player One.
Well, he should be Player Zero. Kind of like Patient Zero.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Sponsored Zero, you know.
Yeah. So Coke Zero. Virginia will feature the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel, heralded as a modern engineering marvel.
Okay. Tunnel. Cool.
New York will feature a packet boat being walked up the Erie Canal, a project that opened the interior of North America for trade and helped develop New York State as a leader in business and trade.
It's interesting. I kind of like it.
And North Carolina will honor higher education, home to the first public university in the United States in 1795, the University of North Carolina. North Carolina is also home to the oldest historically black institution of higher learning in the South. Shaw University was founded in 1865 and accepted its first female class the following year.
Huh.
Yeah.
Oh, they don't have a picture of the North Carolina one on here, but...
Well, it's like insert your North Carolina basketball joke here.
Yeah, Michael Jordan.
Higher education. Yeah. Do you know what? Now, this is funny because, me being from Chicago, I was exposed to way more Jordan stuff than anybody else. Do you know that Michael Jordan does have a degree from the University of North Carolina?
Does he? In what?
I believe so. His major was geography.
Really?
Yes. And when asked, it was a funny It was a funny quote because they used to play the blurb of it all the time, the little drop.
Yeah.
It was well, why major in geography? And he's like, I like to know where things are. Okay, Michael, you say that. That's cool.
I love that answer.
Yes. NGC has certified a unique 1952 British penny.
I saw this story go by.
Things you can really call pennies.
Yeah.
Now, only one penny was believed to have been struck in Great Britain in 1952, and it was recently certified by NGC. So that's this coin.
Yeah, right. And it's a specimen, I think, right? It's proof, specimen proof? Yeah, it's a proof, so it's going to be...
I don't know, look at it. Yeah, so now you may think that the king's death in 1952 had something to do with this, but that would be incorrect. The fact is that so many pennies were in circulation in 1952 that the Royal Mint felt no need to mint any. So the British Royal Mint actually redeemed surplus pennies throughout the 1950s and melted them. So by 1960, over 1 million pounds had been removed from circulation.
Oh, I'm just trying to read through the story here to see if we can figure out why the heck they made this 52.
Well, okay, so in fact, the only pennies minted between 1952 and 61 were specimen sets issued for the Queen's coronation and another unique coin, a 1954 penny struck for likely the same purpose as the 1952.
Okay, there you go.
So that's why, is because, they struck one for posterity.
Because they could. That's the answer.
Sure. Well, there's a joke I got to leave out of that one. Roundtable Trading and Coin Dealers Helping Coin Dealers have announced that they are pleased to announce PMG, Paper Money Guarantee, NGC, and NCS as the official grading services of their platforms.
Yep.
Now, you have a connection to Roundtable Trading, which owns CDHDC, right? Or CDHCD. Jeez.
Too many letters. Yes.
Way too many.
Yes.
And so I think that, I think that this is a milestone kind of occurrence, though, is because think about this. This is a Facebook group announcing an official service. So this is an evolution in coin dealing as social media has now become an equal platform with many others used for buying, selling, and trading.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's kind of the plan. The old guard that we've had for so long in this industry has been has been kind of these back channel, CCE, Certified Coin Exchange, CoinNet, kind of back dealer talk, back. What's the word I'm even looking for? Like back
channel.
Back channel, yeah, back channel talk groups between dealers, and now we've just kind of, we're able to not necessarily recreate, but reinvent that on social media, and it makes it a lot more fun. You have a much more personal connection, rather than just reading through a tape and seeing who's paying what for what, and it's nice. It's really nice.
I think it's a great networking tool as well because
Yes.
the exposure that you have to individuals is just amazing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, most of the world-renowned experts, numismatic experts, are on these groups, and if I run into something in my everyday coin dealing that I need help on, say a super rare, super expensive coin walks into the office, and I'm not sure what I'm looking at, I can hop on Facebook and figure out, who do I need to talk to, and I can shoot them a quick message, and a lot of times I'll get a response relatively quickly.
Yeah.
So it's very, point and shoot, have the world at your fingers kind of situation. So
Absolutely.
that's why it's popular.
CDHCD
CDHCD,
is
yep.
a private, right?
Yes.
CDHCD.
You had it. I was giving you credit.
It's a private coin group, but if you'd like to be considered for the group, you can call 770-419-0292 or email info@roundtabletrading.com.
We just need to be done with the story. You're having too much trouble with it.
It's done. That's it. I'm done.
Moving on to the next one.
A new book on so-called dollars is now available. So-called dollars have become a hot area of collecting lately, and a new reference for them has been published. Jeff Shivlin and Bill Hyder authored So-Called Dollars from the Pacific Coast Expositions, a 300-page hardbound book in full color for $59.99, as well as a pocket price guide available for $19.95. Now, the pocket price guide has photos of every metal, metallic compositions, rarity info, and values in 5 different grades. A signed and numbered leather-bound edition with an encased metal struck with the original dies engraved for George Morgan for the 1909 Alaska Yukon Pacific Exposition, signed and numbered, limited to 100 copies for $149.95. I think that was something you could figure out. Orders can be placed on eBay and by email at socalledguy@hotmail.com.
Okay, cool. That's neat.
So it's a new reference. I will say, as far as so-called dollars, you introduced me to the whole idea, the whole subject. I came across some, I bought some. I ended up passing them on to you, and you turned them, and it is interesting. I've sold some. I have one sitting on my desk in front of me right now.
There you go.
They are picking up in popularity.
I always liked them. I thought they were neat. I mean,
see, the one sitting on my desk is California, the Exposition State, San Francisco, 1915.
Yeah, I know that one.
California, the Exposition State.
Is it the one that has a tower on it?
Tower of Jewels.
Yeah,
that's what I was looking for. It's really tiny print.
Yep.
So yeah, Tower of Jewels. That's sitting right here on my desk.
There you go.
Coin Collector's blog this week published an article entitled Quarantine Update. Coins on television are still not a good deal. Now, Coin Collector's blog reminds us that although we may have had a bit of extra time on our hands and maybe even been a bit bored, that watching coin collecting shows on TV are fun and can be great places to collaborate or to calibrate your BS detectors. But they are still not a place to purchase coins reasonably.
And to play great drinking games.
Yeah, sounds like I've been playing one already tonight. At one time, I thought that I would watch and see if I could find the loss leaders. The sets that they sell at a loss in order to get people to watch.
There aren't any.
Well, it's been decades, and I still haven't seen one. Right. So, in fact, I've yet to find any deal on any TV coin show that offers a coin or deal at anything less than about a 200% of retail price.
Yes, that's about right.
And that's a pretty consistent markup.
Yeah, that's 100% truth, actually.
Yeah, so Matt and I have discussed all kinds of fun you can have while watching these shows, from doing something every time the host says the word rarest.
Rare.
To any time they stretch the truth a bit.
Yeah.
You can do things like that. But I think I have a new take on something to do because they are constantly coming up with new ways to group together the common useless garbage that they peddle. So you can let them do the creative work and just take the ideas that you like and assembling the sets on your own.
That's right. And a lot of times
So
you can
let them come up with the new ideas, and when you like one, adapt it to what you collect.
or if you're patient, in a few years, that stuff will be on the secondary market. You can find it in your local coin shop because we buy that stuff all the time.
Well, there's a lot of that stuff that's available now in your coin shop.
Right.
For, I mean, think about those big proof set deals that they're like, oh God, these proof sets, 1964 to 1998.
Yeah, we can usually assemble that stuff quite a bit cheaper, than they sell for. So
there are some of those proof sets that go for almost face.
Some go for less if you hunt real good.
Yeah, so yeah, that's true. Anyway, I think it's a good idea to remind people buying coins on TV is a bad idea. There is too much overhead, and in order to make a profit, you either have to buy them cheap, sell them high, or both.
Yeah, for sure.
There is no room for charity in their business model. I wish people would quit expecting it, and I think that these articles do public service. Unfortunately, they don't reach enough of the people who actually need the advice.
TV time is expensive, and you don't get that back when you buy stuff from them.
No, you really don't. So, finally in the news, and this is the ambush segment.
Jesus, I hate this part.
No, actually, this isn't going to be bad. CoinWeek
You always
published
say
an
that.
article listing 5 books that you need to succeed in numismatics. Now, before we cover CoinWeek's list, I want you to give me 5 books. I'm going to give you my 5 books, and then we'll look at what CoinWeek listed as the 5 books. So, 5 books.
5 books you need to succeed in numismatics.
Succeed in numismatics.
In what part of numismatics? I mean, just in general?
No, see, that was the thing. Is that was the title of the article. 5 books you need to succeed in numismatics.
Well, I'm going to say they had to throw the red book in there just because. I'm going to say that they threw the PCGS grading and counterfeit guide because that's a good one. That's one I use.
Don't try to think about what they said. Think about what your 5 are.
Well, I mean, I have books I use all the time, but
Red book, PCGS,
counterfeit grading and detection
Grading and
guide.
Okay. What else?
Grading and counterfeit detection guide. Let's see, another book I use a lot. We use the Kraus World Coin Catalog pretty often.
Okay.
I also use the Kraus World Paper Money Catalog pretty often.
Okay, but let's stick to the world of U.S. coins.
Okay.
So you have the Red Book and you have
Red Book,
the
PCGS
guide.
Grading and Counterfeit Detection Guide. I use the Pattern Book sometimes.
Okay.
I can't remember the name of the guy that wrote the book. Judd. I use the Judd Pattern Book.
Okay.
My problem is we have so much that we use on the internet that I rarely crack a book anymore. I mean, it's stuff I have around in case I can't find anything. And I know you're going to read the list. I'm going to be like, oh yeah, should have said that one. But let's see. I use the Sheldon Large Cent book.
Okay.
And I guess I use the Morgenthaler Encyclopedia.
Okay.
Pretty
so
often.
that's your 5.
Yeah, that's my 5.
I will say that mine sync up with 2.
Okay.
I think that the first 2 that you named, Red Book and the PCGS guide, it can be any Red Book. It doesn't matter if it's the large print edition, the professional edition, Mega Red, all of them. They're all basically, what you need.
Yep.
But yeah, then the PCGS book on grading and counterfeit detection.
Yep.
I would rank very high Making the Grade. Coin World's Making
Sure.
the Grade. I think that is.
You actually don't have a
one of the ones
copy of
that
that, but I mean,
Pardon me?
I actually don't have a copy of that in the office.
Really?
Yeah.
Next time you see Beth Deisher, you should maybe ask her for a copy.
Hey, Beth. Psst.
Yeah. Let's see. So that would be 3. Let's see. We're talking strictly U.S. I was going to say photo grade, but Making the Grade is good enough because it gives you everything that you need to know in that regard. Let's see. What else?
It's hard to think of, isn't it?
I mean, because there's. See, you say I would say Cherry Pickers.
Cherry Pickers is good.
Cherry Pickers would be number 4. And so you got varieties, you've got
Pattern Paper money. I mean, I guess my
Oh yeah, the Encyclopedia Paper Money.
could use the
So I mean,
the
that would be
Friedberg
my five. So
U.S.
here,
Friedberg.
let's take a really quick look at what they said, because their answers are completely different.
Really?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Huh.
So let's see. Okay,
All right.
their list. Paper money of the United States.
That's the Friedberg book.
Standard catalog of world coins. So you mentioned it, and it's like, I'll give you that. Grading coins by photographs.
Photo grade, same thing.
Yep. Mega Red
Okay.
and Making the Grade.
Okay. So I mean, along the same lines, just different titles specifically.
Absolutely.
But, yeah.
But I think that it's by looking at just, you take your opinion, give me your opinion, and then mine, you look at where the intersection of those three are, and I would say that those are absolutes.
Yeah.
And that would be Red Book and some sort of grading.
Grading
So
book.
I like the PCGS. I like the PCGS book like you do.
Yeah.
Also because it has a lot of counterfeit detection in it.
Yeah. Has a lot of good pictures of that. But
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, I mean, it sounds like we're kind of on point. Just they were talking about different books. And the Freebird,
Right, that was the whole
book. I
idea,
mean,
so.
I can't believe I didn't think of
See,
that
so
right offhand.
you
but
survived an ambush without even sweating.
just barely.
So that was the news, and the news was brought to you today by
By
Zero.
Zero.
If it's not positive and it's not negative, it's got to be something, and that something is the nothing that we call zero.
Yeah. You want to take some listener questions, Mike?
Absolutely.
what we
You know,
got.
we are doing, here's one last piece of news. We are doing our first show that is not only live on Facebook, but live on
Also
YouTube.
live on YouTube. Yeah, we have a new program.
Wow. 159 episodes in, and we're live on YouTube.
Yep, we have a new program going on that I was able to finally get working. I think where it might actually even appear to look a little bit nicer tonight because of this new program. So hopefully this is the last time I have to do this. Everybody got to
Hopefully.
watch me stare at my computer for a couple minutes earlier because I didn't realize what was going on. But we got it figured out.
Yeah.
That's
That's
see.
weird. That's cool. I just pulled up YouTube, and there it is.
There we
Live.
are. Yeah, buddy. I told you I was going to get it figured out.
Oh, dude, I had faith in you the entire time.
I sure did because we had tried another program and it sure as heck didn't do what it was supposed to do. Because
When you think about how long we've been doing this,
Yep.
and how many different evolutions and iterations that we've done in getting it all done, nothing surprises me anymore.
I know nobody realizes this besides you, maybe, but there was one episode that I recorded sitting in the front seat of my wife's van in our
I
garage
remember that. I
because
remember
the
that.
baby was sick and crying, and I recorded it on the laptop with a headset, sitting in the garage, just so that we could
You couldn't
actually
hear the baby cry.
right, just so we couldn't hear the baby cry. So it's come a long ways from there. So let's see if we got any questions here. This new program allows me to.
And speaking of which,
scroll
did
through.
you get a chance to explore the gift that I sent you?
I have not received a gift yet.
I put a bunch of sound effects.
Oh yes,
into
yes.
Okay.
You did. I have.
Okay.
I have
Okay.
played with them. I haven't got that far yet.
Dude, trust me, there's enough there to keep you busy for a long time.
Let me scroll through here and see what we got in questions. I'm just
Questions.
curious. I'm curious if you think junk silver prices are going to resemble the actual melt price anytime soon, or is $5 over spot the new norm? And that's from Joe Bohannon on Facebook.
Junk silver at 5 over spot.
It's been like that lately, unfortunately. And
I always look at junk silver as at a multiple of face.
well, it is,
Never
but
at
that
spot
multiple.
plus. I get that.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that okay, so silver has been everywhere from 15 to 18 in the last 3 years, and has been selling at roughly 15 times face, and buying it roughly 10 times face.
Yeah, thereabouts.
So the fact that it's right at 15 and 16 again. I wouldn't expect junk silver, 90%. I wouldn't expect that price to change. If you're talking about buying silver bullion, there's where I think the difference is. And no, I don't think you're going to find silver to buy at 16 plus $2. I just don't think so.
Well, and that's what happened was silver was up $18 or so, and then it fell out of bed, got down to 13, and everybody and their mother wanted to buy it, and nobody was going to sell it.
Got down to under 12.
Right. I think it got into 11s actually.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted to buy it, and they had stocked it at the old levels. So until that stock is gone and new stock is purchased to replenish that particular stock that was bought at those higher levels, you're going to see it priced like that. So what happens is there's kind of a lag behind the current market values when something like that happens, just because of everybody has purchased it at those higher levels, and I'm not going to sell it for a loss if I can help it. So I'll just price it high, and if it sells, it sells, and if it doesn't, you don't lose money until you sell, just like you don't make money until you sell. So
and to the person that says, well, why does it only work in that direction? It's because that's the way the dealers do it. It just doesn't work in the other direction. When metal jumps in the other direction, it's easy to get a hold of. You'll be you'll be able to get it readily. The problem is that, okay, so let's say you have 100 ounces of silver, as just a round number to talk about. You have 100 ounces of silver that you paid $16 an ounce for. When it goes down to 12, yes, you can, if you can get a hold of more silver, yes, you can buy silver at 12, and yes, you could trade silver at 12, but you still have this giant chunk of money sitting there that you paid 16 for, that you can't just afford to let it sit there until it becomes worth that again. So It kind of handcuffs dealers, and they don't have any choice but to try and get, at least close to what they paid for it back out of it.
Yeah. And
that's only when they can replace it at current price.
Yeah. And that's part of it. And it also doesn't help that probably 9 out of 10 coin shops are closed right now, not purchasing much, not replenishing the market, especially with the demand being so high right now, everybody wanting to buy it. I mean, we've been closed for 3.5 weeks, almost 4 weeks, and I was in there today, and the phone was still ringing off the hook. We've had a voicemail on there for 3.5 weeks saying we're closed. It's on our website. We stopped paying for our online advertising just until we open back up again. And the phone was still ringing off the hook 3.5 weeks later. So that just tells you that the demand is way up right now for this stuff, and the supply is just non-existent.
Well, the demand is, I don't know. I guess it is up, but I would also say that it is also trying to seek more places because, one, it has a lot of time on its hands, and two, there's nobody open. So places, people that would go elsewhere are now ringing your bell, hoping that, they'll be able to get it from you. That's just because the supply is so thin.
Yep. So, that's the truth.
All right. So another show note for people. Tonight we have a small change in Coolest Thing in the fact that, we started doing a dueling Coolest Thing, which is really cool, and I enjoy it, and Matt enjoys it. But, since both of our shops are under lockdown, there's really nothing that walks in. So it's, I think, more of a matter of the coolest thing across your desk this week.
Mine's the coolest thing I got back from NGC this week. So
okay, so I'm ready when you are to load that cannon, and we can fire that one.
Do you wanna flip a coin, see who goes first?
Are we battling go first this time? Because I went first last time.
I'm going first, huh?
Yeah.
So that means that I have to play your new intro, right? Right?
Yeah, and you have several.
I gotta find the darn thing. My thing's acting up, and I forget which pad I put it on.
They have not heard that one yet.
No, I don't think so.
No, we haven't played that one yet.
I think this is it. So if it's not it, I apologize, but let's try it.
Hey, Mike.
Nope, not it.
Nope, that's not it. You're listening to Coin Show Radio podcast, and now it's time for the coolest thing to walk into Matt's shop this week. Brought to you by Sore Throats. You don't think I get this voice all by myself, do you? Sore Throats.
Oh, wow.
I did that when my voice was just absolutely trashed. It was great.
That was good. All right, well, let's talk about the coolest thing that came across my desk this week. This is a Condor token, believe it or not. Whoa, hey there, friend.
Well, I had to do that so I can actually see.
Oh, that's right. I always forget that you can't see all the stuff I'm doing over here. So this particular token was minted in 1796, and it was minted for a guy named Joseph Askins, who, if you look at him here, very interesting fellow in a hat. And if you notice, he has a peg leg. I didn't know if you had seen that or not.
Yeah, it is cool. He does have a peg leg.
And then on the back,
Mr. Peanut with a peg leg.
On the back, it says the Celebrated Ventriloquist, 1796. So Mr. Joseph Askins was a ventriloquist. Can you imagine a 1790s British ventriloquist with a peg leg? Because he existed, and this coin is proof of that. That
was where Jose Jalapeno on a steak came from, wasn't it?
This is an advertising token, just like a lot of the Condors, where they were minted in a time of coin shortage, kind of like Civil War tokens were during the Civil War, to be used throughout as a hunk of copper. And so this particular one, though, is very neat. The cool thing about this one, we just got it certified by NGC, and it came back as an MS64 brown and is the finest known example. So,
holy cow!
Yep, finest known example.
So that's going to be good for a couple of bucks. Where'd you come across this one?
It just came in a deal that we bought. We bought a big deal of magic tokens and stuff, and this one just happened to be in one of the pages.
Now this one has an engrailed edge, which I just recently learned what that is. It's very cool. It kind of looks like a pulley.
Yep.
And then it has a design on the inside, a ribbing of whatever sort, and they're cool. Very common in the King's money.
Yes.
Yeah, back in the 1700s. So it's very, very cool. The other thing, and this is what I have to praise the final use of video by us. That look, when we first started doing this show, we were looking for subjects, and we did some stuff that was out there, right?
Oh yeah.
We did straight settlements coins.
Yeah.
We did stone money. All these other kind of things, right?
Yeah.
And I've always heard people talk about Condor tokens.
Condors, yeah.
But you just don't connect it with anything until you see one.
All right.
And so it's like these are overstruck on what? 2 pence?
No, they're not struck on anything. They're just struck on their own blanks. They're their own unique coinage.
They're just private coinage made in England primarily, though, right?
In the late 1700s. They were just used in a time of species shortage, and so that's kind of what they are. They were advertising tokens. But I mean, seriously though, what is cooler than a 1790s peg-legged ventriloquist? Nothing. I think.
I mean, that's gonna be a tough act to follow.
But
that's gonna be a tough act to follow.
But being the finest known, I mean, this is a hard piece to price, man. I'm having to try to figure out how the heck to price this thing. I mean, I listed it at a number. But I don't know if it's a good number or a bad number. There's not very many of these that have sold. I couldn't find another sale, and I can only find that there's I think a couple more graded in NGC and nothing higher. So maybe.
So you have to find a sale just so you have a baseline to start from.
I think it's worth somewhere in the low 4 figures, like $1,000, $1,200, something like that.
Not bad for a piece of copper.
Right, but it's just one of those things that find another one. They're hard to find, and this being the finest known peg-legged British ventriloquist from the 1790s token.
Well, if there are only 4 of them being the finest known,
I just thought it was neat. So
it's cool.
It came across my desk, and I figured we should talk about that.
But you're not Jerry Lee Lewis lighting the piano on fire.
No. Not
that
cool,
because I have something extremely cool.
All right, now I'm going to hit the right button this time. You ready?
Hey, Mike, what was the coolest thing that walked into your shop this week?
So my version of the coolest thing this week was something that I had to research. I had never actually seen one before. I need to pull up the picture of it that I sent to you, Matt.
You don't have it in your hand? Come on, man.
No, this one's gone.
Oh,
This was gone. I sold it.
nice. Cha-ching.
I sold it. It was that's gone.
Making money for the boss.
Okay, so yes, sir. Making money for the man. All right, so what this is it is a tiny private gold issue. It is a 1904 Louisiana Purchase Exposition token.
It's kind of like a so-called dollar, but not quite, right?
Kind of like a so-called dollar, but not quite. And here's the thing is that this is not what you expect, particularly when you look at it. So if you look at the coin, on the obverse of the coin, there is a fleur-de-lis with the letters L, P, and E in the different parts of the flower, and 1904 split side by side on it. The reverse says Louisiana Gold and has the fraction 1/2. Now, this is a $1.50 gold piece that was minted privately. As a matter of fact, it was minted, I want to say, by Farron Zerby.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, so give me one more second. Let's see. It would be really helpful if I had my research done. Okay, so yes, Zerby produced a small gold medallion on his own, featuring a fleur-de-lis on the obverse with 1/2 and 1/4 below Louisiana Gold on the reverse. While he never claimed these were coins, he did promote them as containing metal mined in the Louisiana territory. And this angered some prominent numismatists who called him a fraud upon the public. And it's the funny thing about it is you look at this and you think Louisiana, and this coin actually is from the St. Louis World's Fair of 1904.
Yep.
Called the Louisiana Purchase Exposition. St. Louis and Louisiana are always going to have that connection because the St. Louis is it derives its all that makes that city happen from the Mississippi, and then the Mississippi flows through New Orleans. So there's a very strong connection between the two. This coin, it was tiny. It's smaller than the size of a dime.
Yeah, they're little bitty things.
I had to figure out what it was, and then I had to find some place to get rid of it. And so I found as far as my research, I did finally find an auction online. It was sold by some indie coin dealer guy, and he had it in AU58 PCGS slab and sold for $90.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
You want to hear something funny?
What?
I had that particular coin as the coolest thing a few episodes ago. I was wondering how long it was going to take you to figure it out. But
to be honest with you, I did Susan B. Anthony's episode 81 and episode 84. So, so you got to admit, pretty cool thing.
Well, it was cool enough for me to pick, so it was obviously cool enough for you to pick.
Is that it has now crossed both of our desks.
They must be rather plentiful.
Two completely different companies.
Right. Oh, yeah. We're hundreds of miles apart.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny?
It's funny.
But no, that particular one that you found that we sold, I had done on one of these shows as my coolest thing.
That's funny.
Because I remember talking about Zerby and...
Yeah, so it still is a cool thing.
Yes, very cool. I love those things. And you know what? I've probably owned half a dozen of them over the years. But they're just...
I also had a Tutua.
Tutua, yeah, one of the...
Tutua. Alaska gold.
Alaskan episodes. Alaska tokens, yep. Tua. Those are neat.
Tua.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Well, Mike,
Yes,
I've been fighting with all this technology. I think I got it figured out finally because this has gone off without a hitch.
Yes, sir.
I love it.
Sir.
It does exactly what I want it to do. So, bang, baby.
Well, it does everything but make me look good.
Yes.
There's no hope for that.
Oh, my.
Oh, my.
I had to get George in once this episode.
He belongs in every episode.
And I remember where his button was.
Okay. Well, you have now an entire library.
I do. I gotta figure out what's going on.
There are backgrounds. There are oh God, there's just so much stuff. See, this is the thing is I had this kind of like I had this phase in the 80s when I thought I was gonna be a DJ. Or I thought I was gonna end up in broadcasting somehow. And so I collected things like that, and I thought, oh, it's like I'll get to use these someday. They'll come in really handy. And then it's like, and then I had kids.
Who would have known?
The other things that I did, and I'm like, I'm never going to.
40 years later,
are you kidding? And all of a sudden, it's like I'm digging through some stuff in the garage, and I'm like, hey, wait a minute, these are my sound effects.
Oh Lord!
Oh my God! So yeah,
I gotta see how
technology comes to the rescue.
I gotta see how awesomely dated these sound effects are. I'm sure there's gonna be like Charleston's and all sorts of stuff on there.
No, actually, you would be. This is quality stuff.
We'll find out. We'll find out if I have a whole boatload of new sound effects in the next few shows. That's why.
Yeah. So, what are you reading right now?
Nothing. What are you reading right now?
I am still reading a guidebook of the United States Mint.
Okay. How?
As well as I'm also reading some books on fractional California gold because
you have to.
I've got a bag full of them sitting in front of me, and I got to figure out how to sell them.
Yeah.
So let's see. I also want to do a little something on and give our listeners something to respond to. So, look, we've all been locked up, or most of us have been locked up and cooped up, and had to spend way too much time with the people that we love over the last couple of weeks. Yes. And I have found that a great release for me has been to download these just absolutely mindless, stupid games on my cell phone and playing them. So I want to know, what is the stupidest game that you have found and started playing during this pandemic?
Mike, you gotta realize.
And you got nothing?
Nothing.
You
gotta realize. I have
kid.
three
What kind of millennial
boys.
are you?
I have 3 boys under 10 years old. I have no time for me. There's nothing. I get nothing, my friend. I have no time. I always either have somebody that needs a snack, somebody that needs a meal, somebody that needs a drink, somebody that's fighting with somebody else. There is no downtime for me right now at home with 3 kids and a wife who is homeschooling these 3 kids. So,
well, she deserves to be canonized just for that.
100,000%.
You start to figure out how this child rearing thing isn't quite as easy as it looks.
No, she's a saint. I give it to her. I tell her that. I tell her that every day. It looks like we got one quick question. Simon wants to know what the bills are behind me in my frames. So these are bills that came into the coin shop in the frames, and I thought they were neat as heck, so I bought them. There's a Red Seal 1923 series, I believe. What else is up there? There's we'll start at the. There's a Bison up there. There's a wood chopper. There's a large size 2. And then at the top is a large size United States 20. And then on this side, there's some fractional notes.
There's about $5,000 in that thing.
No. The thing is, they're all mounted. They're all mounted in there with glue. They're all 100% original notes, but somebody glued them in there. So I wasn't going to tear them apart and hurt the notes. So I was like, you know what? I'll just hang them on the wall. And then on that side was the other frame that came with it. Those are just a series of fractionals. Nothing scarce, but just old school collecting. Some guy probably put those in those frames back in the 50s and thought they were super cool. And so I just hung them up. I thought they'd be cool, and I figured you guys would like them. So something neat back there.
So I want our listeners to chime in over the course of this week to let us know what games are they playing, what mindless stuff have you downloaded, what is the stupidest thing
Mike's playing Geometry Dash and Slitherio and.
Well, no, listen, seriously, it's like.
What are you playing? Seriously, old man, I want to hear this. What kind of games do you get on that Jitterbug?
So there's games that I play that I really play.
Snake.
And then there's stuff that's mindless and stupid just to kind of escape.
Yeah.
So there's, Words with Friends, everybody likes to play, right? I like word games.
Yep.
So there's Word Crush and there's all these others, right? Mm-hmm. Forget those.
I
found one called Brick Out, which is kind of like Breakout, but bricks. But stupid ones would include stuff like there is one called Unblock a Ball, which is one of those puzzles that has the different sliding pieces, and you have a what looks like a launcher from like a pinball machine and a hole, and they're stationary, and you have to move the bricks so that the ball travels through the right path to get to the other one and hits all the stars. So that one's one thing. They have one called called Park the Cars.
Park the cars.
So you draw 2 lines and you have to park these cars in the spots. But probably the stupidest thing that I've been playing is a thing called Soccer Kick. Now, I don't even like soccer.
Yeah.
Okay, there's just something cathartic about this, that it gives you this soccer player and there's a ball in front of you and you have to take the thing that goes like this and hit it when it's in the center, and you just slaughter this ball. And it goes like 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 feet. And I don't know what it is. It's just cathartic. I like it. I like kicking the ball. I like just being...
My kids have a pretty mindless game, but I think it's kind of funny. And it's called, are you ready for this, Mike?
Uh-huh.
It's called Goat Simulator.
Goat
Simulator. Yeah, you're a goat. You run around causing havoc and running amok, and it is a
Nice.
game, and it
Not
is
the
actually
greatest of all time.
it's actually kind of funny. I play it with them sometimes, but yeah, Goat Simulator.
Yeah, it's a great game for kids.
You should look it up on YouTube sometime. It's actually pretty funny, but
I bet it is.
it's,
See, and that's the thing. So, and that's what I want to know. I want to know what people are filling their time with. Because me with a soccer game is about as ridiculous as it comes.
right.
I haven't played any bowling games. I haven't picked up a bowling ball.
I was going to say, you're going to be out of practice, my friend, once this whole mess gets over
It's
with.
like falling off a bike, my friend. It's like you'll never forget how to do that.
That's right.
Oh, there's also another one called Ramp Car Jump.
Ramp car jump.
Okay, and all this is it's a car that you drive down a ramp and you jump it, and it does barrel rolls and flips and stuff. It's just dumb. It's got to be destructive. That for me is.
I wish I had time to play mindless games. And I know it sounds crazy with this whole thing going on, but between Sarah teaching the boys, having to do all their schoolwork, and having them all here and beating on each other, it's like my house is kind of like a WWE match every night. Like our kids just decide it's time to beat on each other.
That's what you get for having 3 boys.
I got the 6-year-old coming off the couch, like he's jumping off the top rope and landing on his brother, and oh man.
Now you understand exactly. I used to say this all the time, and my wife didn't even get mad at me. I said, "Do you know why I have 3 kids?" Because I really didn't want a 4th.
Oh no.
That's why.
And I have 3 boys, so it's like it's intense around here sometimes. So.
I'll bet it is.
But that's fun, and I'm glad we get to hang out. I'm glad we get to hang out with the people that are on the live stream. I'm glad the live stream's working how I want it to.
Oh, this
that's
is
amazing.
adult conversation.
I know. I think we're actually going out in a higher resolution as well, so that's good. I hope everybody likes it. I hope the sound sounds good for all the people that are listening on their mobile devices. Like I said, I'm confident that I got this.
Oh, I think we
figured
nailed
out.
it this time. I really do. It's like I'm sitting here watching this Facebook live or this YouTube live.
And
It's amazing.
Yep. I got it all figured out finally. It's taken me probably 10 episodes now. There's always something that's just not quite the way I want it, and I think besides this state now my thing I use for all the sounds and audios and stuff is not working.
Hey, let me send you a text.
Oh God.
Because I'm sure I don't want to. Hold on a second.
What's going on? What are you doing?
Oh no, because I don't want to put. You'll see in a second.
Lord, he's texting me in the middle of the show. Good Lord, you guys. It's probably like, you have a booger. You got a booger in your
Something like
mustache.
that. Why would I want to point that out?
Yeah, why not?
Oh, go for it.
Go for it. Go for what?
Go for it. Oh, let's ask him.
Go ahead.
Let's see if we can.
You want to get him in here?
Yeah, I do.
Sometimes that takes a little prep, buddy. You can't just spring this stuff on people.
Oh, yeah. Well, maybe not.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe next time then.
definitely next time. Like next
All right.
live show,
You
we'll
got
have it
anything
ready. No, buddy, I'm good. I'm great. I'm golden.
All right. Cool.
So I have more projects here for the show. I've got anything new coming down the pipes that we know of. Not, I mean, just keep on keeping on right
As
now.
far
There's
as-
it's just the show goes. It's hard to produce content right now because there's Nothing going on. There's no shows. There's no news. There's no.
I'll tell you what. I mean, it's been.
The news is the fact that nothing's going on right now.
And creating a newscast out of that
Is hard.
that still has been, that's been a
We're
challenge.
gonna keep going, even if it's just us talking about cell phone games.
Dude,
I mean,
it's like, first off, we like each other, so
Yes.
it's like we can just sit here and talk anyway.
right.
But I don't think you guys want to hear us talk about Colts Bears.
The who?
Colts and the Bears.
Yeah, I heard the first team, but the second team, I'm not recognizing.
Oh, yeah, you'll recognize them again this year. How'd that work out for you last year?
You're a black cloud.
You
Mike.
are
You're a black
never
cloud.
ever going to forget.
No,
And you probably
neither are
never
you.
ever invite me to another game again.
Nope. Sorry, buddy.
No, your quarterback quits every time that I come.
That was bad. God, that was terrible. All right.
All right. Let's see. So, should we run some credits?
Let's run some credits, buddy.
All right. So, we'd like to thank our contributors, our patrons, the people who wrote to us, offered suggestions, people who watched us live, or in some other way inspired us. We can't thank you enough. Without you, this whole endeavor would be completely pointless. Thanks to Tony Alvarez Band, for the music. Thank you to Justin Irvin for his contributions to our YouTube page.
Yep.
Thank you to Ernesto Aguilar for our Facebook page and the great work that he does every single day. You should check out our Facebook group, Friends of the Coin Show. Come and check it out.
Do you realize
Facebook for Friends of the Coin Show.
Do you realize that we're about to break 1,000 members in Friends of the Coin Show? I did not realize this, but we're about to. It's like 9 something. I don't really look at it that often, but I just happened to pass by it the other day, and it was like, oh wow.
Yeah, no, it's
Oh, I thought you were looking it up
funny how
there, grabbing your phone in the middle of the show.
No. Actually, I was answering somebody. So just go to Facebook, search groups for Friends of the Coin Show. Ask to join, and Bob's your uncle.
Robert.
I have to say that every single time.
Robert is
Let's see. So our podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Breaker.com, iHeartRadio.com, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and of course our website at CoinShowRadio.com. And I like what you did to the website, Matt.
Yeah.
To the listen to the show part.
Yeah.
Because now it's all automated. You can go in there and you can listen to it in all sorts of different ways and places and stuff right from our website.
And
every single episode.
I was going to say, the other thing cool too is somehow through the years and years that we've been putting stuff on that server, their internet broke or something. And about our first 70 episodes just disappeared. So you couldn't go back and listen to it. But now I got it fixed. We have episode 1 to episode 158 are back for your listening pleasure on the website.
We apologize in advance.
Yes. Bob is your uncle.
Yes. Well, Bob's my uncle. I don't know about you.
I don't have an Uncle Bob. But...
Okay. So for the Coin Show, I'm Mike.
And I'm Matt.
And we'll talk to you next time on the Coin Show.